Alpine must now start looking for a new driver for 2023. They had already named Oscar Piastri as their second driver with Esteban Ocon, but must now relaunch their hunt for a new driver. While Pierre Gasly is one of their main targets, Red Bull boss Christian Horner is prepared to release Gasly, while Esteban Ocon wants Mick Schumacher in 2023. But why do they think Pierre Gasly is the best option for their team? If you want to find out, stay tuned until the end of the video. Alpine has now decided to replace Oscar Piastri. They've made inquiries about Pierre Gasly, and Esteban Ocon has said that he wants Mick Schumacher to compete beside him next year. The governing FIA's Contract Recognition Board heard the F1 dispute between Piastri and Alpine, although the board did not provide a quick judgment confirming the Australian's future. But on September 2, 2022, during the Dutch Grand Prix weekend, the CRB decided against Alpine, recognising the contract signed by Piastri and McLaren on July 4, 2022 for the 23 and 24 seasons. Piastri's signing was confirmed by McLaren immediately following the CRB's ruling. Alpine has pushed itself into a precarious situation. With a fourth-place finish in the constructors' standings, you would anticipate a lot of interest in the seat besides Ocon in 2023. However, Fernando Alonso declined the offer from the French racing team, and Piastri also departed. Internally, there are still a few things to work out in order to attract and retain drivers for longer periods of time. But first, the driver for 2023. At first sight, Daniel Ricciardo seemed to be Alpine's greatest name. The team's project frontrunner, who strangely supplanted Ricciardo as the team's frontrunner, is departing with Alonso. That is also where the issue with the renewed partnership rests. In the interim, much too much has occurred. With 8 race victories to his record, Ricciardo is the greatest name remaining. Yet that same Ricciardo departed Renault without compassion for rival McLaren. There, he also departed with Lando Norris, so as a team, it is unclear how much value the 33-year-old driver provides. Ricciardo himself seems to be hinting about a trip to America. Gasly's name is often discussed, and the fact that Helmut Marko is publicly discussing it suggests the degree that the prospective transfer is reached. Negotiations between the two sides have already begun, and it may only be a matter of time until an agreement is revealed, but only if Alpine meets their demands and pays what they feel the last year of his contract is worth to them. We have a valid contract for 2023, but in the meantime, there are talks, Marko told Sky Germany, as quoted by Autosport. We would not stand in Gasly's path if our requirements were satisfied. Driving on a French factory team would be a dream come true for him. However, not all of the prerequisites have been satisfied. A transfer would necessitate the hiring of at least one new driver for AlphaTauri next year, while Yuki Tsunoda's future is also uncertain. IndyCar driver Colton Herta has been connected to the Red Bull stable, as has Mick Schumacher, who is said to be leaving the Ferrari Young Driver program. But Marko remained tight-lipped on who would replace Gasly, saying, "We've considered it, but we do not want to disclose it just yet. We have a few super license holders on our youth team. We would hire someone from there as a reserve driver." On the surface, Gasly seems to be a strong contender. Although he failed to impress with Max Verstappen at Red Bull Racing, he has shown to be a reliable force for a mid-tier team at Toro Rosso/AlphaTauri. Given his status, a move up to the sub-top of the order would not be out of place, especially since he is at a dead end with Red Bull, with Sergio Perez under contract at Red Bull Racing until 2024. Gasly's recent season stats are also in his favour. He has routinely outperformed his colleagues since his return to AlphaTauri. In a season and a half, he has defeated Daniel Kvyat in qualifying and in the race, while Yuki Tsunoda has also had to give way often. Before Gasly, the Japanese driver qualified just once in 2021. The Frenchman needs to improve his racecraft. His inability to manage a tricky vehicle plagued him at Red Bull Racing. Overtaking now became more difficult, as did qualifying on the limit. These problems are less obvious at AlphaTauri, but will be scrutinised more closely at Alpine. After the departures of Alonso and Piastri, Gasly is the finest replacement, but there is one major issue: his relationship with Esteban Ocon. Ocon advised his buddy Mick Schumacher that he become an Alpine driver. Ocon is aware that Schumacher has not shown enough to merit promotion, but anything is preferable to the coming of his old boyhood buddy. Gasly and Ocon were friends when they were youngsters. However, an hour of listening to the two men's podcast Beyond the Grid will reveal that they no longer see one another. Their rivalry in karting proved detrimental to their relationship. Indeed, the two are believed to despise one another these days. The two had a lot of back and forth, and we will never know how it truly happened. However, you have two Frenchmen who aspire to be the best driver in France and the frontrunner of the French F1 team. A driving team with such troubled relationships is a recipe for disaster. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg are two excellent examples. They were also close buddies who made it through the karting phase. Rosberg saw that Lewis was just superior, but Rosberg was older and more clever in F1. He was determined to win at whatever cost, and he was successful in 2016. Neither of them shook hands in a cordial manner. That connection, however, ended when they joined a team together. Gasly and Ocon's relationship is already strained. A sober person would never put these two together, but Alpine does not appear to have much of a choice. A nice pre-conversation between the two is recommended, but the issue is how long it will take for the previous resentments to re-emerge. When the options are considered, Alpine simply does not have a choice until 2023. It has either placed itself into a situation in which it must choose a driver tandem that will battle each other and create additional harm inside the team, or a driver duo that is just insufficiently powerful. There are already questions about Ocon's ability to lead the team, so placing a young star beside him is too risky for a team that is fourth in the constructors' standings and striving to enter the top three. Mick Schumacher is no longer a rookie, but he has yet to demonstrate that he is ready for the next step in his F1 career. At Haas, he did not even defeat Kevin Magnussen. Guan Yu Zhu is available, but the former Alpine junior lacks the attributes needed to push Alpine to the next level. Antonio Giovinazzi and Nico Hülkenberg are two more possible F1 drivers. Giovinazzi has been out of F1 for a year and was never very convincing at Alfa Romeo. Hülkenberg was a quick driver, but he is 35 years old and has been out of F1 for 3 years. The candidates listed above are already risky bets that Alpine would prefer not to take, particularly the extreme outsiders. Consider F2 champion Felipe Drugovich, Frenchman Theo Pourchaire, or Alpine kid Jack Doohan. All are untested in F1, and there are no global stars in the entry classes. Stoffel Vandoorne and Nick de Vries are the names last drawn from the hat. Vandoorne is a Formula E world champion with F1 experience. Even though it has been a while, the Belgian still has the pace. Despite a shorter FE season, de Vries enjoys an edge over his southern neighbour. De Vries has been connected to Williams for 2 years and has previously tested an F1 vehicle in 2022. A step higher feels excessive. Alpine is in a bad situation as a result of the Alonso and Piastri affair. The top drivers will no longer be accessible in September, and the only one linked to the team is not convincing as the true number one either. It is a decision between two bad options. If Alpine goes with Gasly, the spectacle is certain, and Otmar Safnauer finds himself, not for the first time, in a squad where the drivers may force each other into the wall. Do you think Pierre Gasly is a great choice for Alpine? Is it best if the team picks Mick Schumacher, who is Esteban Ocon's preferred option? Please let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of our incredible videos. Keep an eye out for the next video. Bye for now.